Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to Seeds Unspoken. I am your host, Latanya Elise. If this is your first time visiting Seeds Unspoken, I welcome you. I'm so happy you're here. I don't know what brought you here, but I am incredibly grateful that you came. To everyone returning, thank you so much for being on this journey to the heart of God with me. Every time we gather, it's a blessing. That said, if you're looking for a healthy community of people who are just trying to grow in their faith or just simply grow closer to God, I urge you to stay connected with Seeds Unspoken and make sure to catch every episode. And don't become a stranger. You're family. This is your girl, Latanya Elise. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Seeds Unspoken. Today, I want to discuss the impact of language, and I will be using several phrases to convey the idea that speech or words have a significant influence and power on what we speak. So, did you know that the average person uses around 6,000 words per day, 112,000 words per week, 448,000 words per month, 5,280,000 words per year, and 52,800,000 words per decade? All the while, a record of each of these words are being kept. There's a scripture over in Matthew 12:36, and it warns us. But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word spoken. There are many who understand that death and life is in the power of the tongue and that we ought to speak life. And that is as far as it goes. But I'm going to share some alternative ideas so that we don't miss it. It doesn't matter if it's the impact of a language, the influence of words, the force of communication, the strength of expression, the might of language, the potency of speech, the power of verbal expression, the weight of words, the effectiveness of language, and the authority of speech. However way you slice it, all of it is being kept record of each word we speak. Every idle and casual word will give an answer. Every idle word, every passing comment, off-colored remark will be examined. Over in Revelations 20 and 12, it says that the books were open. Then another book was opened, which is the book of life, the great white throne of judgment. Regardless of status in life, great or small, these books represent the records of human deeds. They contain the actions of every person. These are evidence to our faith and our character. On that day, not only the best parts of our lives will be examined, but it'll be the details of our life. Every word, decision, action, and every thought. This is why we should be careful with our words, because our lives will be examined and we won't be able to run from it or avoid its appointed time. So, with that being said, we have to keep in mind that when words exude from our mouths, they had to begin somewhere, right? So it's from our thoughts. Thoughts become words. And the moment the words are spoken, they plant seeds that can later manifest or erupt immediately. Because words are the vehicle through which thoughts are conveyed. And the most powerful thing in the world is our tongue. And the enemy wants our thoughts, our mouths, so that he can get us to speak against ourselves, speak declarations and curses against ourselves and those around us. And his goal is to terminate our destiny and cancel out our right to God's blessing. God also wants our mouths, the mouths he created to be filled with his spirit. When your thoughts and words are filled with the Spirit of God, your life will submit to your speech because words have a significant impact on others and it either brings life or cause harm. This is why we are to use our words to edify and encourage others rather than tearing them down. Over in James 3, 5 through 6, it says, likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes a great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and it itself set on fire by hell. Woo, that's heavy. But let me explain a bit further. In James, when it says the tongue also is a fire, it was saying that it's a destructive power. And just like a fire, it can spread rapidly and cause immense damage. There's a harmful effect that takes place when reckless words are spoken. We can't see it, but it's taking place. And this is why it's important. It's essential that when we open our mouths to use them wisely and responsibly, you've got to recognize the potential to either build or tear down, to bring life or death. Why? Because our mouths are the sanctuary of our thoughts. And the moment a word leaves our mouths, it will be levied to do what you set it out to do. Then your words become weapons or antidotes. The significance of the tongue, despite its small size, it has the power to influence significantly. Although it's small, it can have a huge impact. It can create perceptions and situations that may not align with truth. James used the analogy of a small spark igniting a large forest fire to illustrate how a few careless or harmful words can cause extensive damage. The destructive power of the tongue is capable of causing significant harm and chaos. The nature of the tongue is compared directly to a fire. It can strip soil. This is what a fire can do. It can strip soil and its nutrients, making it more prone to erosion. It releases a vast amount of smoke and matter into the air, which can cause the reduction of air quality and visibility. It releases gases contributing to climate change. Ash and debris can contaminate water sources, affecting water and quality. The smoke in the inhalation creates respiratory problems, issues like asthma, bronchitis, and other lung diseases. Follow me now. We're talking about the parallel differences between the tongue and a fire. It can cause long-term health issues leading to chronic health conditions like heart diseases and lung cancer. It can cause more issues such as physical burns, psychological trauma such as PTSD, anxiety and depression, loss of livelihood and displacements. Fires have a wide-ranging harmful effects that extend beyond the immediate destruction of flames. So as the tongue. It can exert significant influence. Just as a fire can consume and destroy, the tongue can cause significant damage through harmful speech. The tongue is described as a world of evil among the body parts, indicating that it can be the source of a great moral and ethical corruption. Like a fire that spreads and affects everything in its path, the tongue can corrupt the whole body and set the course of one's life on fire, leading to widespread negative consequences. When the scripture states that it's set on fire by hell, the tongue is attributed to hell, suggesting that the potential of its harm is rooted in ultimate evil. This adds a spiritual dimension, having a profound spiritual ramification. I say this to say we must be mindful of our speech to avoid causing harm. We must become aware. We have to practice self-control to prevent that fire from spreading. One of my favorite verses is over there in Psalm 45:1, and I think it's my favorite because I am an author and a writer. But it says that my tongue is the pen of a skillful writer, eloquent and beautiful poetry to extol the virtues of the king. When I delve deeper into this verse, I understand that the psalmist likened his tongue to a pen of a skilled writer, and this suggested that their words are carefully chosen, crafted with precision, and inspired by God and his ways, something noble of God that will exude from us when we walk in alignment with who he is and his ways. This highlights the power of speech and the art of communication. Not only did the psalmist just casually speak, but just like the rest of us, when we are delivering something, it should be well thought out and meaningful, as if we are writing with the skill of a talented writer. So as we end this episode, I'll leave you with a couple of verses. Over there in Proverbs 12:18, it says, "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." Then over there in Ephesians 18:21, it says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." That's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening. I hope that this podcast episode has brought light, love, insight, understanding, and wisdom into your day. Thank you for listening. Until next time, this is your girl, Latanya Elise, with Seeds Unspoken. Take care.